Hello everybody, Survivalpunk here. Sorry about that slight hiatus. And also sorry if I talk a little weird. What happened was I actually have my wisdom teeth coming in. One of them at least. I already have one of my other wisdom teeth, whatever. But yeah, it's coming in and it is hurting like a bitch. Excuse my language. But yeah, my gums are inflamed and sore and TMI. Long story short, I'm just been in a lot of pain. And I'm just now trying to just get it done because I don't want you guys waiting too long for the next video. And sorry again for the wait. But today we are working on the strategy for Ra, Sun God. Well, Egyptian son of the god. Egyptian sun god. You get the drift. Jump right in the god builder. Anywho, we're gonna go over to abilities, and same as always. His abilities are Speed of Light, as his passive. Every time Ra uses an ability, his movement speed is increased. Movement speed 6%, max attack strength. Celestial Beam, which is a line ability. Ra summons a moving beam of intense light from the sky, doing damage to anyone caught under the beam. Minimum damage 95, that's the starting damage. Maximum damage is 335, and the damage is plus 70% of your magical power. Divine Light. Light starts to emit from Ra, stacking a slow every 5 seconds on enemies near him. After 2 seconds, the light detonates, doing damage and increasing the slow duration. Any enemies facing Ra at the time of the explosion are also blinded. Starting damage 60, maximum damage 220, plus 30% of your magical power. Slow per stack is 5%, detonate time, lifetime is 3 seconds, sorry. It is an area of effect ability. Radius to 30 feet. Solar Blessing, ground target, enemy and allies, and a radius of 20. Ra summons a pillar of blessed light. Allies inside the blessing are healed every second. Enemies are damaged every second. Minimum damage per tick is 20. Maximum damage per tick is 68, plus 20% of your magical power. Heal per tick is 20, lowest, and the maximum heal tick is 60. And remember, plus 15% of your magical power. Because, that always, helps. Lifetime is 6 seconds. Then his ultimate ability, Searing Pain. Ra calls on the power of the sun to decimate his foes in an extreme blast of heat in front of him, doing damage to all enemies unlucky enough to find themselves in the path. 400 is the minimum damage. 700 is the maximum damage, plus 100% of your magical power. It is, of course, a line ability. Now, real quick, we're going to jump into my battle footage, kind of give you an idea of what each ability is good at, what you should use them for, and then after that, we're going to give you a rough idea of the order of importance that you get each ability.
Okay, on our first clip, as you can see, I'm kind of helping my buddy there just push on this tower. As our minions are kind of in, I decide to go in for a kill. My friend here gets the kill, sadly, but that's okay. No, not even sadly, because it's all about teamwork and all that. But I really like how I popped my heal at the right time in order to get out of the tower, which is something Ra's really good at. Here's an example of Ra's ult. I attempted a kill on Anubis there, but sadly could not get the kill. Which you'll see a lot. A lot of what I get with Ra is assists, but that's okay, because as I said, he's more of a support. But although Anubis gets away, I do secure a kill for my teammate on Loki there. Kind of give us a little bit of heal, we kind of move back, Loki's pushing on us hard. I'm basically dead, Anubis got me, but I did pop my ult and secure the kill on Anubis, so Anubis didn't get away for too long. Moving on to our next clip here, kind of hugging my tower a little bit, use my Celestial Beam for the lane clear, pop that for the heal. That was just an example of lane clear. But right here, boom! A really good kill on Agni. And then a little bit of a smart play, pop my heal, and an escape from Hades. Super slow-mo. Sorry about that, everybody. I just thought that'd be a little cool. But yeah, I escaped from Hades. I kind of quickly hide behind my tower here to make sure I get away. And I go... Here we are. I kind of attempt some stab damage with my ability. Agni's dropping his ult on me and Bellalana there. I dropped that for a quick heal on myself and her, just to make sure we're at full strength for diving into them. So we're going to push a little long forward here. Agni takes a very risky move. I believe I hit him with my Celestial Beam, but BAM! I get all 3 gods with my ultimate ability right there. And then pop that for just some minion clear. You shouldn't really use that for minion clear, but it's okay. Sadly, Hades gets away, but that's not a big deal. I run over here and secure a kill on here before he can make an escape. Right here, some Celestial Beam for lane clear, basically what it's best at, and I pop my heal to try and, get some healing in and all that. Right here, we're just getting ready to try and kill Agni. He ain't gonna get away. I sadly missed on here, but I got the kill on Agni, which is really good, and on here sadly gets away.
That we got through that. I would also like to say, again, I'm not very good as Raw, personally. I'm decent as Raw, just not for damage. I find Raw just better as a heal support for me. Although there are people who can play Raw pretty well in the damage category. That being said, moving on to the order of importance in my point of view. And again, keep in mind when I tell you how I like to do things, that I would prefer to play Raw as a heal support in kind of a minion mitigation kind of thing. First ability I always get is Solar Blessing. It's good for minions, and it's good for healing your team, so it's kind of double-edged sword, not double-edged sword, but like a multi-use tool, is what I meant to say. And the second ability I always get is Celestial Beam. Again, because of the minions, it's really good lane clear, and it's really good damage on gods, so you can help support your team by getting kills. So it keeps that going, that little aspect going. And then I always get the third ability, you get the third ability, Divine Light. And that way you can keep your ability going, your passive ability going, Speed of Light, because you'd Solar Blessing for heal or damage, although heal is the most important aspect of it. Just 75 to 80% of the time you should be using it for heal. But then you'd, Celestial Beam, and then wait a little bit, Divine Light, keep that little niche going. Next ability is Solar Blessing, so it's heal and damage is better, although the heal is much more important again. Then, Searing Pain. Solar Blessing, Celestial Beam, Searing Pain. Solar Blessing, and then Celestial Beam, Celestial Pain. You get the idea. Order of importance is Solar Blessing, then Celestial Beam, then Divine Light, and of course your ultimate whenever you can put a point into your ultimate, because it is your most powerful ability. Another thing, again, I would like to remind you of is that his Celestial Beam and his Searing Pain goes through walls, so there's another thing you should keep in mind, because you can actually kind of surprise enemies that way. Especially in Arena, when they're trying to push on you guys, you know what I mean, kind of getting your business up where your base is, you can hide right behind the portal, and blast them, and maybe they're just not ready for that. Maybe they're grouping up on an enemy and they don't see that coming. Makes it a lot harder to dodge when they don't know you're doing it. Because when they hear the audio cue and see Raw kind of charged up, they know to strafe left or right. because sadly you can't aim it after activation. When you've activated it, the line is set and it is going forth. That said, we're gonna head over to items. Now again, keep in mind, I prefer Raw as heal support. That's where he is strongest in my point of view. Is he the best heal support in the game? No. But that being said, I can start a drinking game on that being said. But yeah, that being said, you know, that's just where I feel he's most important. So I like Watcher's Gift as a starter item, just because it gives you that extra health and magic per second, and then, you know, being within range of 60 of minion death without dealing the killing blow rewards you 4 bonus gold, and also restores 10 health and 5 mana. So it's really helpful, you know, it's really helpful for that team dynamic if you don't happen to get the minion kill. Though other things to keep in mind, you should keep other things in mind nonetheless, just because you're more likely to get the minion kill than your other teammates. You have the better lane clear. When it comes to side items, Salvation or what's it called again? I did not mean to click that. I had a brain fart. Greater Meditation. Salvation or Greater Meditation would be my suggestions there. Salvation is the better choice all around because, 1 second, sorry. I don't know why it does that. What Salvation does is using this item gives you plus 45 magic per second for 60 seconds, and restores 35% of maximum mana to you and your teammates. This also heals you and your teammates for 15% of your maximum health. Cooldown is 120 seconds. Super useful item, especially if you're trying to push and you guys are a little low. Almost mandatory, pretty much mandatory if you're doing assault, but you know, you don't really control who you are as assault, but you know, that was just a little throw-in. Girdle of Support for the push. Girdle Support using this item gives all allied gods in 70-foot radius a 20% physical and magical power buff for 10 seconds. Cooldown 60 seconds. Then Greater Sprint. Using this item increases your ground speed by 40% for 6 seconds. It also makes you immune to slows for the duration, and you no longer have the movement penalty while firing. Cooldown 60 seconds. I'm sorry guys, give me a second, I need a break. Sorry about that, it just really hurts to talk and I'm trying to get this over with. Sorry about that. Shoes of the Magi. Magical power 65. 250 mana, then 18% movement speed. Shoes in boots and tabi in general is a really good item to have at first, because, you know, they're 1,500 gold-ish on average. You know, Shoes of the Magi is 1,550, but you get the drill of you get the catch of what I'm trying to say. Which is, they're really good, they're cheap and they're really good items. You want to, towards the beginning. I do not know why this build has it so late. Down here, don't take this down here with a grain of salt, okay? In fact, I'm gonna try and just dismantle that, so I can give you just a rough idea of what we'd be doing. But yeah, the other item on this suggested build is Lotus Crown, magical power, plus 60, physical protection, plus 30. That's not too important, but the plus mana per second of plus 20 to magic per second, mana per second is really useful, and any god affected by your ability heals gain plus 20 physical protection and plus 20 magical protection for 5 seconds. Cannot activate on the same target again for 10 seconds. Making you very good heal support again, because you're supporting your team with some protections on top of your heal. Another good item, especially if you're just going to go damage build, because again, there are experienced raw players or people that are really good with raw that can play him for the damage, even though that's not where he's best suited in my point of view. This is a good item for that, and just in general it's a good item because of the cooldown reduction and the magic per second. But magical power plus 75, magic per second plus 25, and then 25% cooldown reduction. Chronos Pendant is a very worthwhile item for any mage. Again, for damage builds, plus 50 magical power, Warlock Stash, sorry. Plus 50 magical power, plus 300 health, plus 400 mana. You permanently gain plus 3 health and plus 0.6 magical power per stack, and receive 5 stacks for a god kill, 1 stack for a minion kill, max stacks 100. Rod of Tahiti, which is plus 125 magical power, plus 15 magic per second. Passive increase magical power by 25%. Book of Thoth, 125 mana, 15 mana magic per second, and then 100 magical power. Permanently gain 10 mana per stack and receive 5 stacks for a god kill, 1 stack for a minion kill, max stack 75. Additionally, 3% of your mana is converted to magical power, so it's a really good item. It's actually a really good item for Kukulkan, but that'll be for the future when I actually do a build for him. Kukulkan, you know, just doing this build makes me miss Kukulkan so much. Which is kind of weird, because something I would like to add, if you realize, the second and third ability for Kukulkan, and the second... Sorry, yeah, the third and fourth of... Sorry, the second and final ability for Kukulkan and the third and final ability for Ra are kind of similar, except for, you know, Ra's Solar Blessing heals, but, I mean, in essence they are, because, one's a radius thing that you set up, you know, for Kukulkan is a tornado, then the other is a straight line that you can't change as soon as you activate it. It just goes in a straight line. Although, for some reason, I suck with Ra's, but I'm good with Kukulkan's, and I think the reason for that is, for Kukulkan, I can time the delay better somehow, and it's also harder to tell when he's using it until it's, actually activated. And in Ra's case, you can see and hear the cue. There's a visual and an audible cue when he activates his, unlike Kukulkan, where his is harder to realize. It's harder to notice Kukulkan activating it. But getting on a tangent there. Sorry. Pathagorum's Peace. Ow. Sorry. Plus 70 magical power, plus 15% magical lifesteal, and plus 10% cooldown reduction. Plus 20 magical power and plus 10% lifesteal to all allies within 70 units. A really good item, a very useful supporty item. Kind of keeps you alive longer too. So, good item all around. Now we're kind of back to a healing thing right here with Rod of Asclepius. Sorry, pronunciation is not with me on this one. But just to let you know, Lotus Crown and the Rod here are almost mandatory just because they kind of help with your heal aspect, even if you're going with a damage build. These are two items that you always want to keep in mind because they help your heal a lot, and they really help for pushing. But 75 magical power, plus 200 health, plus 10% movement speed, which kind of adds into your passive a little bit, makes you this really fast guy. And its aura is the healing and health regeneration of allies within 70 units is increased by 15%, which is good because it's boosting your heal, and it's also boosting their health per second, making you very supporting. This is the final damage item, which is almost mandatory for Ra. A lot of people use it, and I see why. Plus 50, it is Divine Ruin, plus 50 magical power, plus 15% magical lifesteal, plus 150 mana. Enemies hit by your abilities have 40% reduced healing and regeneration for 8 seconds. Again, back to more of a supporting heal thing. There's the Sovereignty, plus 200 health, plus 55 physical protection. The protection and the health, not too important. What's important is the aura. All allies within 70 units gain plus 20 magical protection and plus 25 HP per second. Another option is... oh, I do have some other options here. Okay, I was just making sure. Pestilence, which is magical protection, not necessary, really, plus 300 health. The healing and regeneration of enemies within 55 units is reduced by 20%. And then I have Rada Tahiti twice. That is weird. I have that twice. That is weird. So the final two items is Heartward's Amulet, plus 300 health, plus 60 magical protection. And an aura, all allies within 70 units gain plus 20 physical protections and plus 20 magic per second. Very useful, very good for supporting again. Then Magi's Blessing, which is a really good item if you don't want to use beads. You know, it gives you that protection from crowd control. What it does in the long run is plus 15 physical protection, plus 15 magical protection, plus 350 health, and absorbs a single hard crowd control effect or root once every 45 seconds. Sorry, give me a second. Ow. Okay. When this occurs, the owner also receives 1 second of crowd control immunity. Got through it, guys. We got through it. And a good example of a build would be something like this. This is your first or second item. Either of these two is your first or second item, but we're gonna do that. That. And I think that. We're gonna do you. I think we're just gonna do you. Then what do we want to do? We can do you for the cooldown reduction and the mana per second, making yourself more useful. Or we can do you to help the team as a whole. So either of those two. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do this. We're gonna roll with this, just for the extra damage. So we're pumping some damage, but basically either of those three would do just fine. We'll roll with this one. You know, minimum damage, sadly, but you're very, very supporty in the long run. And that's just a good example of Ra. And, you know, Ra is very well represented here. I've always, I said this is the third god I've mentioned that on. I'm just a big mythology fan, I'm sorry. That's one of my biggest loves for this game. It's just heart out to the creators of Smite, because you know, they took something I love very dearly, which is mythology, something I've always enjoyed, and they brought a lot of life to it, just something I really respect and really, really love about them for doing. And, well, this was Ra, guys. God of the Sun. Yeah, but, I think we did a good job. Clap, clap. I didn't realize that, I didn't imagine he'd clap like that, actually. That's kind of funny. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Have a good one. Survivalpunk signing out.